It's Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz in Long Beach at the National Association of Counties Convention. Usually I'd be speaking with Bruce Gibson from San Luis Obispo County, but he is in Long Beach with us. Sir, why did you come down to NACO as a supervisor from San Luis County?
Well, you know, Brad, this is the first NACO conference I've attended. Certainly known of the organization, as I think you know. I'm very active in our state association, CSAC, the California State Association of Counties. And this is just one more step up and more issues, more complicated issues, and it was close to home, so I figured why not.
I know you just arrived, but what are you hoping to dialogue about? What issues do you want to convey to your fellow supervisors, and what do you hope to learn?
Well, you know, I'm interested in everything counties do. I love land use policy. I love housing policy. I love how do we? I can seriously wonk out here for a couple of days.
Truly.
So you think about the breadth of things counties do, from providing health services to running airports to fixing roads to deciding on land use. It's here, and I'm fascinated to get the wide perspective.
What I learned since I've been here, I had thought that California was unique in that counties were so involved in the daily running of their communities.
Right.
I didn't realize that throughout the nation it's the same.
Yep.
You know, we talk about the mayor, but the reality is it's the county that does.
It's where stuff gets done because it's different in different states, but counties are directly connected with the state structure, and whether there are 58 as there are here or 254 as there are in Texas, we are the entities that get things done on the ground.
And so much of federal funding flows to counties.
Exactly.
It couldn't go through the state, but it gets to counties.
It comes straight to counties, certain welfare, transportation money, lots of different things. So NACO is a powerful organization. It has a great presence in Washington. It sits on White House appointed task forces. It lobbies directly with the leadership of Congress. It's plugged in on behalf of the constituents that we share with these folks. So it's fascinating.
There is an issue that has taken the Central Coast by some surprise, I would say, and that deals with the Diablo Canyon nuclear power plant. Just for some background, a few years ago, the San Onofre nuclear power plant was announced to be shut down for reasons that are different than Diablo. They had some serious issues
big mechanical
problems. With Diablo Canyon, there were fears about potential issues, earthquake, potential leak, but nothing like San Onofre.
And so they were, PG&E operates Diablo Canyon, has been for some years in the process of getting ready to pursue relicensing. And we expected that they would do so. But as that process has proceeded, a number of issues have popped up. The seismic threat is one, and again, as you know, I've been very much involved in a reassessment of the seismic threat post-Fukushima. The second issue is how they cool the power plant. It's called once-through cooling. They suck literally billions of gallons of seawater a day in and put it back in the ocean 20, 25 degrees warmer than they took it. That has a big environmental effect. And the third thing is their storage of their spent nuclear waste. No federal solution at this point.
We've talked about Nevada. That never went anywhere.
No one has gotten that problem figured. So there on this beautiful coastal terrace sit dry casks of spent nuclear fuel. Now, as they pursue relicensing, they're going to have to confront, to some extent or another, each of those issues. And I think as they got deeper into the analysis and saw how it was going, they realized that they probably had billions of dollars likely needed to invest in the plant.
Really?
And so my understanding, and I have no inside information on this, is that it was basically an economic decision.
But the flip side, sir, is that I believe Diablo Canyon is the #1 employer in the county.
Private sector employer.
Private sector.
Yeah.
And 1,500 jobs.
High-paying jobs.
High-paying
jobs. 6 figures,
And you also, we consider that with San Onofre's energy vanishing, the energy it put onto the grid, now we have Diablo Canyon's energy vanishing. I mean, these are complicated issues.
They are very complicated issues. So let me say first, I mean, my main concern with this is for the people who are employed at Diablo Canyon, especially those who might have been early in their career with PG&E, and they are facing a significant disruption. Now, PG&E is working on employee retention, and that process is yet to play itself out.
But do we know if PG&E is looking to repurpose the land there?
That's yet to be determined. And so they're going to be doing job retraining, job retention. They will be having decommissioning going on, probably for the rest of my lifetime.
Oh, truly? It will take that long?
25, 35 year kind of project. So there will be folks employed there. Now, what a lot of people point out is, well, they pay a huge amount of property taxes to the county and to the school districts. Yes, they do. That's going to be an issue we've got to confront, and we're starting the negotiations with them as to how this happens.
But property tax, as I understand it, is based on land value.
And improvements.
And improvements.
So
if they're taking down their...
And as I understand it, I don't know that this is exactly right, but if they are authorized to close and decommission, they start depreciating that power plant for the next 9 years to zero. And that's a big hit. So we're in negotiations with that. Repurposing of the land, we were talking earlier about an initiative, a voter advisory, non-binding initiative that came before the voters in San Luis Obispo County in the year 2000. And the sense of the voters is that once done generating power at that site, that land should be conserved as open space. And
it is on a beautiful piece of land. It's undeniable. You could go to Avila Beach and you can see how beautiful it is.
It is. I think they own a total of something like 10 or 12 miles of coastline. Superb. And that will be part of the discussion.
I wanted to ask you, though, about desalination. Because we had been speaking about a proposal that would allow the county of San Luis, with partners, to take some of the desal that Diablo already uses and use it for human consumption.
And the first, we had started down a path toward that when their announcement of not relicensing came forward. And the first word from PG&E is, well, that source of water for the southern part of San Luis County was off the table.
So the plan went away?
That was the first word. I'm hearing now that this may get reconsidered. The desal plant will be operating through their decommissioning.
Which is years.
Yeah.
Because as I understand it, they use that water for every use on their site?
And they only use about 40% of the capacity of that plant. They won't be using any more during the decommissioning that we can see. So
will they use any less?
And I'm not certain of that. But there sits a permitted desal plant, and I think that's yet another topic that's going to be brought forward to the table to talk to PG&E about what the longer term about that is.
So do you feel as if it's worth still pursuing the desal?
Sure, I think it's absolutely worth considering. Now, why it was initially taken off the table by PG&E, I'm not sure. But I know my colleague, Adam Hill, is very much in the middle of that conversation, and I think there's more to come on that.
So when we talk in 10 years, where are these folks going to be working?
Well, that's a good question. So whether they find jobs within PG&E or whether they retire, I don't know. Whether they stay as part of the decommissioning process, there will be some jobs there for that part.
He is Bruce Gibson. He is a supervisor in San Luis Obispo County, attending his first National Association of Counties Convention. It's in Long Beach this year. I'm Brad Pomerantz, Charter Local Edition.